Hi everyone, running through water. Some interesting news to share with you. The Senate is not going to vote on this health care bill until after the Senate gets back in session on July the 9th. Several senators finally came out opposing the bill for several different reasons, but which gives us some time really to tell them what we know about Medicaid and why it needs to be saved in its entirety. And I'm starting to learn that, it's human nature. If something doesn't affect you directly, it makes it hard to support sometimes, especially if you think you're getting the short end of the stick. And that makes me very sad because it affects my family directly. But let me tell you how Medicaid actually is affecting your life more directly than you know. So whether or not you have a kiddo in school, we all pay taxes for our kids to go to school. There's a piece of legislation, there's a law that is called the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. And this act came out specifically to protect the civil rights of all kids. Any child who attends public school has the right to a free and appropriate public education. And what does that mean? Well, it means that it levels the playing field a little bit more for students with learning disabilities or any disability. So in districts like mine that have a low level of rental properties, we have more homes, we have higher taxes, we have a little more money for those students. Where in more rural areas, more urban areas with larger school districts, there's not quite enough money. Well, so here's the thing. The school districts were promised when IDEA came out that it would be funded at 40%. It has never been funded by the government more than 18%, which means that school districts have to absorb that cost for disabled students. And so what does that mean exactly? Well, so if you told me to take off my glasses and read something, I'm not going to do a very good job because I can't see. You can tell me all you want to try harder, but I am not going to be able to read as well as my 14-year-old who does not need glasses. The playing field is not level. I have to have my glasses to see. This is a lot like how this works in schools for kids with disabilities. We have to level that playing field by giving them an appropriate education. And so that means we supply them with equipment, with tools, with therapists. We're going to make them so they can be independent in the future. They can have jobs. They have to be able to go to school. They have to have an education in order for them to be independent and living the most meaningful life possible, just like it would be for your child. So what happens in most school districts? They accept Medicaid funding to help pay for these things. They also do preventative things like eye exams and auditory exams on kids who might not have access. So Medicaid dollars go toward that. Medicaid dollars go to pay for therapists. Not every school needs to use the money available, but most schools do. So here's the thing. What happens when a large urban school district no longer gets that funding, but still has to provide a meaningful education to disabled children? And that child needs equipment, or that child needs therapy to access the curriculum. And IDEA is funded less than half it's supposed to be. And now there's no Medicaid. Your taxes are going to go up. Your taxes are going to go up a lot because there's not going to be enough money to go around. There already isn't enough money to go around. It's 3 minutes in the water with running through water. Just to let you know, Medicaid affects you too. Have a great day.